The ever-expansive Marvel Universe is filled with all sorts of amazing and fantastic characters, some coming from the deep reaches of the cosmos, alternate planes of reality, to tabloid boardrooms, maybe the most bizarre reality of all. But among the endless plethora of characters with all sorts of powers and abilities, which of them are immortal? Now, if we really want the answer, almost all comic book characters are immortal in some sense, because they've got a little thing we like to call plot armor, huh? Am I right? I mean, which of our favorite heroes hasn't died and then came back to life in one form or another? But for that reason, let's keep it strictly to their actual powers and abilities. In today's video, we'll be covering 10 Marvel comic characters who can't die. So strap into that operating table and let's get into today's procedure. Let's start off with everyone's favorite adamantium-laced mutant, most commonly referred to as James Howlett, and to a lesser extent, Logan or Wolverine. The popular member of the X-Men has an accelerated healing factor, showcased through the comics and films on multiple occasions. It's allowed him to endure the most brutal physical punishment imaginable, as well as age at an exceptionally slow rate, which is seen as both a blessing and a curse. Logan was revealed to be born in the 1800s, and has seen loved ones come and go. Just to give you an idea of his age, he actually fought with Steve Rogers in World War II, and this guy did not need to be frozen to keep his good looks. In the Old Man Logan series, set in an alternate future, he actually tried to kill himself when he was revealed to have, while under an illusion of Mysterio, unwittingly killed all of his fellow X-Men. He immediately attempted to take his own life by laying down in front of a freight train, but even that couldn't kill him. And yes, I'm sure most of you saw the film adaptation where he did die, but let's say in the case that he did not begin to lose his healing factor, he'd be more or less immortal. There was no way we were not gonna add Wade Wilson to the list. The Merc with a Mouth, very similarly to Wolverine, has an accelerated healing factor. Actually, it's even stronger than Logan's. Wade has been seen both in the films and comics able to function without multiple limbs, even being able to grow them back. You wouldn't realize it with all the one-liners that he constantly barrages us with. He even tried to kill himself multiple times in the second film with no success. In the comics, Deadpool actually begins having a flirtatious relationship with Mistress Death to the jealousy of one Mad Titan. Yeah, I'm talking about Thanos. This is, of course, due to his obsession with Death, his one true love, and actually decides to curse Wade with eternal life so that he can never steal his woman. So yes, let's just say Deadpool is, for all intents and purposes, unkillable.
Oh, it's so hard to go.
The son of Reed Richards and Sue Storm of Marvel's first family, Franklin Richards is among the most powerful characters in the entire canon of Marvel Comics. He's been shown to be able to make any thought of his become reality, manipulate matter on a cosmic scale, and even create his own universe. His powers are so great that beings such as Galactus even acknowledged it and deemed him to be at the level of a celestial. That makes him among the most powerful beings in the universe. Maybe Jack from The Incredibles was inspired by him. His immortality was more or less proven when an adult version of him from the future was able to survive fighting a full attack from Celestials, let alone defeat one of them, while also raising Galactus from the dead and making him his herald. Can you say overpowered? Speaking of overpowered, don't get us started on this guy's pants. They're the real immortal ones. Yeah, we're talking about the Incredible Hulk. Bruce Banner, as well as the Green Guy, is another character that cannot seemingly be killed or die. As Bruce states in the first Avengers film, he actually tried to kill himself. He was also seemingly resurrected in Ragnarok when Banner jumped onto the Bifrost Bridge, and appears to have broken his neck or any number of bones in his body. Much like Wolverine and Deadpool, the Hulk has an accelerated healing factor that allows him to heal from all wounds, as well as make him immune to basically all human diseases. In addition, he's also extremely durable, meaning that it's hard enough to even penetrate his skin as it is. In addition to this, the appropriately named Immortal Hulk series recently made a major and somewhat bizarre retcon to his origin, stating that the Hulk actually cannot die due to his ability to walk through what's known as the Green Door. This is a metaphysical barrier that connects to the Marvel Universe's version of Hell, but allows Banner to resurrect every time he's been killed throughout his published appearances. While we're on the topic of immortality, next we'll be talking about Mr. Immortal. Good name, it's straight to the point. But yes, as the alter ego of Craig Hollis suggests, this superhero cannot die. His power specifically dictates that he can regenerate from virtually any and all possible injuries. Any fatal injury which would seemingly kill him would cause him to regenerate almost immediately. He's been described as the final form of human evolution, Homo Supreme, a man who has evolved past death itself. In addition, he's said to live until the end of the universe, all while staying in his physical prime. However, unlike fellow heroes like Deadpool, Wolverine, and the Hulk, non-life-threatening injuries will only heal at a normal rate. So if you're gonna try to hurt this guy, don't try to kill him. Another of Marvel's heroes originating from across the cosmos, Norrin Radd, aka the Silver Surfer, is another being who is basically immortal. In order to save his planet from certain extinction due to one hungry Galactus, Norrin made a deal with the Great Entity to spare his planet, and in return, he would become his herald, a job whose description is to basically travel across the cosmos to find planets for him to feed on. View it as an intergalactic Uber Eats of sorts. In order to travel such distances and handle the brutal void of space, he was imbued with a fraction of Galactus's power cosmic, which gave him all sorts of immense power, including the ability to convert energy into sustenance, meaning that he doesn't require air, water, or even sleep, things which some may argue are required to live. I'd imagine that if you're gonna work for an entity older than the Big Bang itself, chances are you're gonna have to be able to stick around for a while. A while, in this case, meaning forever. Ah yes, the one with the largest appetite in all the cosmos, Galactus, the devourer of worlds. A being as old as time, Galactus was once a cosmic traveler named Galen who existed before the Big Bang, and when that event occurred, he was bonded with the sentience of the universe before emerging as the immense being we know and fear. Galactus is a godlike entity whose power has a limitless potential, and while he is a destructive force of nature, often portrayed as a villain to the Marvel heroes, this omnipotent being is said to be an essential aspect of the universe. His constant hunger and necessity to feed on planets actually keeps the cosmic population in check. It's said that if he were to die, the universe would be thrown out of balance, leading to chaos and the end of life as we know it. So it's not as much about if he can die, but more so, can we make sure that he doesn't die?
Dormammu, I've come to bargain.
Who could forget the interdimensional entity who killed Stephen Strange an uncountable amount of times? The ruler of the dark dimension is of unknown age, but believed to be up to millions of years old. He's also, you guessed it, immortal, as he's basically ageless. Within his realm, Dormammu is immensely powerful and more or less untouchable, and as a result, he's rarely seen outside of it, not unlike a geek in his mom's basement. Like most of your typical alternate dimension tyrants, this guy can't be beaten simply by killing him. No, as we see in the film, he can only be defeated by nagging him for eternity, arguably a worse fate than death. Perhaps the most powerful mutant in Marvel Comics, Jean Grey, when imbued with the Phoenix Force, is more powerful than Galactus himself. As most may know, her powers encompass both telekinesis and telepathy, but when she's possessed by the Phoenix Force and at her full potential, her abilities are immensely enhanced as she's able to control matter on a molecular level, generate an unlimited amount of energy, teleport anywhere it will, and even manifest into a giant cosmic flaming bird. Through the Phoenix Force, Jean was also imbued with immortality. Due to the cosmic entity's strong bond with her, it has actually been capable of resurrecting her from death and has, on multiple occasions throughout the history of the comics. Last but not least, the guy that's been rumored to appear in the MCU for years and years, and rightfully so, because Adam Warlock is closely tied to the original Infinity Gauntlet and Infinity War storylines in the comics. This is due to his close tie to the Soul Gem, which he formed a symbiotic bond with. His connection with it was actually so strong that he could even counter other people's use of it against him. Adam Warlock, originally called Him, was artificially created by an organization called the Enclave, who sought to create the perfect being that could eliminate their enemies. And in some sense, they succeeded by making one of the most powerful people in the Marvel Universe. It's also been revealed that, due to his strong connection with the Soul Gem, death can never claim his soul, and it will always return to his body. As a result, that basically makes him, you guessed it, Immortal. You sick of that word yet? There you have it, 10 Marvel characters who cannot be killed. And that's just a fraction of them. Let's just say we had to cut down the list a bit. I guess you'd have to believe so with all the cosmic and mystical shenanigans going on in the Earth 616 and MCU timelines. But while we're on the topic of the cosmos, it's gotta be a matter of time before they bring Silver Surfer to the MCU. They just announced the Fantastic Four movie among the Phase 4 lineup, and as we all know, those characters are closely tied together. It's about time we see Norrin Radd get some shine, literally and figuratively. Let's just hope that if and when we see the big guy, he's not a cloud this time around.